Welcome everyone to my first ever Star Wars watch party. Now if you've observed one thing about me, it's that I don't like to overly trash the movies and shows that truly suck. Yeah, there's plenty of channels out there that already do that. And the YouTube truth of it is, hate videos always get way more views than videos of genuine praise. I want views, a lot, please subscribe. But still, I've resisted. I would like to say I have a personal Batman ethics to it all to make the world a better place, but it's actually more simple than that. I just don't watch anything that sucks. I'm pretty good, perhaps one of the best, at predicting what will be a train wreck disaster long before it comes out. But that doesn't mean I don't get angry at a show. I lose it when a show is good or has a lot of potential, then throws it away with stupid nonsense. This came up a lot in The Last of Us. So much good, but a lot of dumb decisions as well. It also brings us to Ahsoka. Now I should point out that I'm not a direct fan of Ahsoka the character. I watched a little of Clone Wars, but not all of it. I only watched a couple episodes of Rebels, so I don't really know much from that. But still, I was drawn to this series for one reason only: Thrawn. I've been a huge fan of his ever since I read the Timothy Zahn trilogy back in the day. I am praying this show does him justice. I feel like there is more potential here than any other series. And that definitely appears to be the case. There is a certain Star Wars touch to this that none of the others had. Mandalorian leaned way too hard on the cute Baby Yoda stuff with basic storylines. Obi-Wan felt unrecognizable from how we knew him in the movies. This show has a full functional Force user, a struggling apprentice, intriguing villains, and a supervillain lurking in the shadows. You kinda like it. The vibe is back, the pieces are there. Unfortunately, that is pretty much where it ends. Ahsoka has a Star Wars vibe with a stupid nonsense, dumbass retarded story decisions. How does such shit get made? How can a show have so much potential, actually be good in some cases, but make the dumbest errors imaginable? Is everyone a moron? No, don't answer that. I don't want to know. Okay, now I know episode 4 was generally liked, but like everything else, the logic breaks down when you think about it like for 2 seconds. Lightsaber fights against Force users and non-Force users, or in Sabine's case, an almost non-Force user, will never make sense. Unfortunately, that's something that started with George in episode 3. Why doesn't Shin Force push her over? Or Force choke her? Or lift her up and pull the lightsaber from her hand? Sabine can't counter any of that. Also, Force speed and strength should make this fight completely one-sided. Also, I have no idea, but this move is so freaking dumb. Anticlimactic. It looked cool, but then nothing happened. Things like this are just a letdown. Let's not forget Ahsoka had chances to destroy the map, but didn't. Hyperspace travel that used to take days now takes minutes. The better Star Wars part is that Sabine turned over to the other side. I guess that is interesting and maybe in character, but it's ultimately not enough. And since we're here, let's talk about everything in the show so far. The space fight in the last episode is what sent me over the edge. The beginning was okay, I guess, if perhaps dragging on a little too long, and not super exciting. Laser blasts hit the shields, okay, we've seen that, but whatever. Then the stupid shit really started. The ship was damaged and couldn't move. The weapons were down too. They were a sitting duck. No chance for escape. It's over. Nice knowing ya. But Ahsoka goes out on the ship to defend it with her lightsabers. Apparently she's done that before. Okay, that can make sense at least. A last stand. Do what you have to. Never give up. Except the ship can't move. All the fighters have to do is cut their engines and come to a full stop right in front of the ship, then blast away. You don't have to fly by at full speed. What the hell, man? Full speed? How can people be so stupid? It's sci-fi, yeah, but this is completely within the rules of their own universe, or any universe for that matter. That shit is beyond infuriating. I feel insulted as a viewer. Now I need to talk about Ahsoka herself. As I said, I didn't watch everything with her before, but this is not how I remember the character. Rosario Dawson comes off so wooden. People have said she's stoic, and I guess you could say that's true. But for some reason, I remember spunk. Ahsoka had a vibe. Ahsoka was a vibe. I get that she's not a teenager anymore, but this is painful. If you were unfamiliar with Ahsoka, you wouldn't understand why she's the main character of the show. She's literally the least interesting person in the whole cast. No story arc, nothing. Just vague mentions of her past. Now granted, that's not the first time Disney Lucasfilm has done that, but still. In a show with a lot of boring scenes, the boringest scenes of all involve the title character. Get some spaz, have a story arc, just do something interesting. Speaking of boring scenes, this show has a lot of them. You can try to justify them as world building, but you'd be wrong. It's long, drawn-out scenes that don't accomplish much. Now I'm gonna give you a reason for seeing this more and more, as you may not realize where this is coming from. It's the James Cameron effect. Yes, James Cameron and his Avatar movies are making creators and filmmakers droll on and on with scenes of nothing. This happens because people don't understand what Cameron actually does well. Read any review of Avatar by a wannabe smart boy and he'll say great visuals but not a good story. Cameron uses a lot of world building in his movie, long scenes where the characters are exploring or such. Lesser filmmakers see that he is successful and try to do the same. Hence all these scenes of walking, pushing stuff around, puzzle solving, whatever. What they don't realize is Cameron does more than just show off his world and special effects. He's gradually hinting at character. Plus, those scenes will ultimately have some sort of payoff. Often what you're seeing will come up again later in the movie in some pivotal way. It's a setup and a payoff, but that's not the case here. Just the walking and talking and whatever. There is no payoff. Even worse, the audience can't really connect with the action. It doesn't help that Ahsoka is moving stuff around that you don't know what any of it means. Or Sabine is working on a puzzle, but you can't follow her progress because it's all nonsense to you. That is not engaging for the audience, it's dull. And because I know there are always some people out there who defend this stuff, look, you can kinda get away with it once. Twice is pushing it to the limit. Except this is like a third of the whole show. Way too much screen time, not spent accomplishing anything story-wise. And while we're on the topic of not accomplishing much with the story, it's worth pointing out that the story itself is so freaking overdone it's infuriating. It's another MacGuffin finding the map to the important guy bullshit that is everywhere these days. It was literally the plot of both The Force Awakens and Rise of Palpatine. Not to mention Indiana Jones and even Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. Writers have gotten so far away from the original use of the MacGuffin it's ridiculous. You aren't freaking Hitchcock, you're just a normal cock. He knew what he was doing. We're 3 episodes in, and of them trying to find a map, to find a hyperdrive, all to find a way to get to the lost Grand Admiral Thrawn. God, I hate this. Heir to the Empire, the book is a freaking classic. Why did Disney scrap it? Plus, apparently this boy is named Jason, like spelled like that. If you didn't know, it's just a ripoff of Jason Solo from the former expanded universe. As a fan of that expanded universe now called Legends, I literally feel insulted. Let's also not forget the stupid character decisions or blind luck. From the captain in the opening scene, who is the dumbest person to ever have a command, to how everything accidentally came out at the Corellia shipyard just in time. That was annoying too. Peter Jacobson was playing a somewhat interesting character as the executive of a company building Republic ships. Now he could have been a unique side character, not a regular, but occasionally someone the story comes back to as they return to Corellia or have some issues with shipyards. But then, the shocking twist is that the man who is only interested in running a profitable company is actually a secret Imperial trying to undermine the galaxy or something. Yeah, real shocker there. A person who seeks to be gainfully employed and stay away from the stupid ideological battles must clearly be a secret evil conspirator. It's also rich coming from Disney. They have become the most money-obsessed, amoral companies around. The words and actions of their CEO during the writers and actors strike is clear on that much. Ah, you want to starve them out, do you? You almost feel like they are telling on themselves. What a bummer, so much potential lost. I'm gonna keep watching for now because I just freaking want Thrawn, even though I know it'll likely all end in disappointment. Such is the way with Disney Star Wars. Have a great day, I'll see you at the next watch party.